All right, we're back. I know what episode it is. It's 42 because it was the Jackie Robinson episode, but we missed it last week because it was Patriots Day, and me and Chris golfed all day, and Jared was in Boston, and Cam was
doing
lost
things
in Holly's eyes or something. I don't know.
It was my birthday. I was at my parents' house.
Yeah, it was your birthday.
Seems like a pretty
the
lame
day before
excuse.
was your birthday.
Oh yeah, we could have recorded Monday.
Masters Sunday was your birthday.
Yeah.
We played golf all day. So, anyways, we're back. Well. A lot has happened since. Mainly Boston sports stuff has happened. So we're gonna go basically majority just Boston sports pod today. Just kind of cover everything. And then we got our snake draft today. It's a big one today. One that we're all very passionate about is chips. We're all pretty big snack guys, so this could get a little testy, could get a little argumentative. There could be words thrown, punches heaved.
We might be
I know where
therapy
all of you
after.
live.
we'll send them.
All I'm saying is I was eating a bag of chips before this, and if any of you pick that, there's words will be had. So, anyways, jumping right in. Heavy Boston pod today. We're gonna rip it off with we had the Bruins Bruins yesterday, Celtics today. We'll start with the Bruins game 1 reactions.
I'm in a group chat. You guys know Noam and my buddy Sarge, and we were texting. And 2 minutes into the game, and Toronto's already got like 4 shots on net. We're like, oh shit, here we go. Like. Typical Boston fashion, they're going to come in first round of playoffs and they're going to lay a dud, right? And I know I shouldn't say that being a Boston sports fan. They looked really, really good.
They don't lose to the Maple Leafs.
All I'm going to say is they looked really good, except for the beginning of the third period when they let up that goal and until they got that power play. They looked pretty bad.
Yeah, at that point we're up like what 4-0 at that point.
I think. Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, they put an empty net.
That I think that's just kind of letting your foot off the gas when you shouldn't.
Yeah.
And especially in the playoffs because momentum is 10 times stronger in the playoffs. So
what year was it that
we've said it all season too. That's what's gonna bite them if they continue to do that. Yeah.
So
fortunately, they did, and they had enough of a lead. But if it was like a 3-2 game, then obviously that's a lot different.
If that was a 3-0 game and they score that goal, it's completely different.
Whole different ball game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
You already see him being a difference maker. I feel like he will be kind of for a lot of the guys in the Bruins will be Pat Maroon.
He just seems to be really he's a dog in the corner. When he gets down there and he scrums for the puck, the dude's just a dog.
Well, did you guys see him put the guy over the bench?
I called that.
Yes.
10 minutes before it happened. I looked at it, I was like, someone's going into the boards. It's got to be Pat Maroon putting someone there. I don't know who it's going to be. But
he's
Pat
a different breed.
So they asked Maroon before the game, like, what can you give? Like, what can you tell a lot of these guys who are younger and whatever? He's like, the one thing I told everyone is, look, you go into that fucking corner, you better come out of the puck or don't come out. It's like, that's the one thing you have to do. And you saw it with a lot of the Bruins players in game 1, at least. Not a lot of them went into the corner and left without the puck. They all seemed to be going in there and just fighting like they're fucking.
They were just. I was gonna say those first 2 periods before they kind of let it up. They were playing like dogs.
Yeah,
well, that was the whole thing. A lot of things that I read up on leading up to the series and listened to and saw videos of was that Toronto does not like to bang down low on the boards. So you take your physical guys.
Well, I mean,
put a fucking hit on somebody.
That's the Bruins' bread and butter for the last 40 years.
Has to be.
Yeah. The big bad Bruins. They go down. They play like I don't mean dirty hockey as in they play dirty, but they like just like dirty boxing. Like you get in those little tight situations and you fight and you scrap. Like that's just Bruins hockey,
right?
And that's why a team like the Maple Leafs, knock on wood. There doesn't seem to be a universe where the Maple Leafs win this series.
And
it just doesn't.
The thing you were saying, Chris, how they came out and they got immediately almost 4 shots on goal. That's been the Maple Leafs thing all year. Is they come out hot, they fly around you, try to score goals as quickly as possible because they don't play defense that well.
Well, the thing is too that they had a lot of shots on goal. They didn't have that many like genuine scoring opportunities.
No.
Like they were taking a lot of like distant shots with nobody in front of the net that Swayman can either just bat down with his chest or glove it and put it into the corner. Like they didn't have like Swayman. I think was just rock solid, but he didn't have like any unbelievable saves because the defense. We had a couple, but it wasn't like it wasn't anything like what he wasn't like standing on his head all game, keeping them in it. You know what I mean? Like the defense was opening up the center of the ice so much that he just had clear shots to knock down.
I think it was before they scored, the Bruins scored their second goal. At that point in time was when they needed him to stand on his head, and credit to him, he stood on his head.
He also did some very stupid things that
yes. I don't want to.
I couldn't believe Matthews didn't bury that. I think it was late in the first period or early in the second. Didn't bury that.
It was late in the first.
Yeah, talk about a goalie supposed being a goalie's best friend when he laid out. Is that what you're talking about, Jared? Laid out, and Matthews just kind of flipped it over him.
Yeah, and there was one too. It might have been the same one, but I think it was the same one. He hit the post. Like when they say a goalie's best friend is literally the pipes of the net, like it's true.
They hit the crossbar right after they scored the first goal.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So
like right after, like within a minute, they put one off the crossbar. I'm like, if that goal goes in, like shit could unravel.
You want to talk about that game going the other way? That game should have been 8-0 before the empty net goal. The amount of posts the Bruins fucking hit.
I will say, I thought, DeBrus just played like an animal. Well, he was just everywhere, all over the ice.
I said it during. I was like, remember that guy wanted to be traded?
Yeah.
They clearly chose the right in between, because you can tell at this point it was he didn't want to play for Cassidy anymore. They clearly chose the right guy by keeping him. Right. If they're getting that kind of guy every year without Cassidy.
Imagine the Bruins go all the way and they play Bruce Cassidy in the Cup.
Could happen.
Well, plus the other thing is DeBruska's looking for a payday at the end of the season.
Oh yeah, is this the contract year?
Yeah. So. At the end of the season it will be. But like
they have a lot of guys that are contract year.
In terms of DeBrusk, like you expect, I mean, he's a top line player and you expect him to do well, which obviously he got both power play goals, but can we just talk about the fact that the first two goals came from Beecher and Carlo?
Hey, when you get
Carlo had 4 goals all year.
When they scored the first goal, I was like,
yep.
I was like,
Beecher scored on his first shift.
Yeah, his first ever playoff shift. Like sorry, Jared, go ahead. No,
it's just you don't expect it, but it's almost like a relief because now you know that like your bench, you have depth on your bench, and you have people on all 4 lines that can produce in the playoffs.
In the playoffs, you should not be losing a single playoff game that your third and fourth line, not Carlo, but Beecher, your third and fourth line guys are scoring goals.
Well, I mean, that's like if you go back to like the 11 Stanley Cup, like they had the maroon line with like Gregory Campbell and I forget who the other guys on there were, but like they had that fourth line that was unbelievable.
Yeah. Greg Campbell, a fucking dog.
Didn't he break his fucking leg on a blocked shot, and then he blocked another shot after he fucking
stayed on the ice. Leg. Stayed on the ice for like 26 seconds after he broke.
His Boston hockey in a nutshell.
Yeah, I want to say it was Campbell, Thornton, and somebody else. I can look it up.
It was Thornton, right? He's the one that said, "I'll let you pick what hand I beat the fuck out of you with." Yeah. That is all.
Couple of things.
Oh, sorry. It was the Merlot line, not the Maroon line.
You're thinking the Maroon line is 2024 Bruins with Beecher,
with Patty Maroon.
Yeah, Pat Maroon, Beecher, and Boakfist.
But Maroon was playing with fucking. He was on the second line, I think, last night.
He wasn't.
He wasn't on the fourth.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, I thought I saw him on the ice with fucking Pasta. Maybe that was just during the
game. Shit can move around too.
Yeah.
The other thing too that really helped the Bruins last night, and I'm looking at how many penalties the Leafs had. They had 6, and the Bruins only had 4. But the Bruins were getting under their skin.
Yeah.
Like most, if you like, I don't know if all you guys watched the whole game, but most of the Maple Leafs penalties were like retaliatory. Like they weren't like initial
double
penalties.
slashings and
yeah. Like there was one where like it was blatantly obvious against Marchand. I forget who. Wait, hold on. I have it up.
Domi. Max Dumbass.
Max Domi. Like
Max Domi looks like a meth head. That dude needs some fucking veneers. Holy shit, does that guy look scary?
I was like, hey, someone pass me my stick.
He like lifts up his stick above his head and tries to like take Marchand's lower arm off, and it's like
Austin
what do
Matthews
you
had a bad
expect?
penalty too on McAvoy.
Skating through the
he got
crease.
high
And
He
just
stick.
skated through the crease and brought his stick over and literally just hacked McAvoy in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get a feeling they'll come out tomorrow night a lot more disciplined.
I don't know.
I just think
the Bruins
I think
did a
it
hell of
was
a job pissing him
I was
off.
that's what I was gonna say. I think it was more so
It
the
was right
Bruins
from the
just
jump. First face-off.
Yeah.
well, but it was just down the stretch though. The Bruins seemed to just wear them out mentally, where it was just they were taking dumb penalties because the Bruins they couldn't get the puck out of their zone, and then these guys are overextending, making silly plays and taking penalties, and then they're converting on the power plays. Like
You could tell too after the second period. Granted, the Bruins were up 4-0 at that point. The Leafs, like walking back to the locker room, you could just tell they were like defeated at that point.
yes.
Like
Son of
they
a
were just
bitch.
like just watching them all walk. You could tell how frustrated they were, and what made it like bittersweet is that there was still another 20 minutes left.
In the words of Franklin from GTA, "Oh shit, here we go again."
No,
That
that's
actually
CJ,
wasn't
not
Franklin.
DJ, sorry.
Yeah.
So
Jeez, get your Grand Theft Autos right.
Just to finish out, when I said the Merlot line, I was right. It was Thornton and Campbell. Third man, Daniel Paille.
Oh my
That's
God.
that's a
throwback.
blind.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Daniel Paille.
Another thing I wanted to say with this game too, you know who's a fucking rat, and it's clear as day. Person you hate if they're not on your team, but you love them. if
Brad
they're on your team.
Marchand.
No, fucking Bertuzzi for the Leafs.
Oh, 1,000%. He's a little
Bertuzzi's been a
twerp out
rat
there.
forever, though.
Fucking rat. I forget what he did last night specifically that pissed me off, but I just was like, I was watching. I go, fucking Bertuzzi.
He
Get
got
out of
a,
here.
Is
got
he
a penalty,
related to?
too.
Is it his dad that was the other Bertuzzi that played years ago? Because
Jared,
this
you know.
Bertuzzi's pretty young, right?
Yeah.
Going to Leafs. Is it like Todd Bertuzzi was his dad, maybe?
Tyler
Because it's Scott
Bertuzzi's
Bertuzzi
29.
that plays for the Leafs, right?
He got a high
Tyler
sticking.
Bertuzzi.
He got a
Oh,
high sticking
okay.
with 4.5 minutes left in the first period against Lindholm.
That's what it was. Yep. Lindholm, and he tried to fight someone else after doing that too. I just forget who he tried to fight.
I just
There's
love how
there's
many
a couple
like,
guys.
scraps there were. Oh, I
Oh,
just
yeah.
love playoff hockey.
Yeah.
There was a
It's
couple
so fun
guys
to
that, like,
watch.
because I didn't watch a ton this year, that I just had like Zaka, no idea who that was.
He's good.
Sacha. He is good.
Yeah.
You'll be pissed off at him though because he likes to miss wide open nets. He'll never hit a shot that's at a wide open net. It'll always be,
Good.
tips through a goalie's glove or some shit like that. No,
Good.
but the entire net, nope, not going in.
I mean,
Love
and
it.
they got. I'm looking at their time on ice. They got solid minutes out of everybody.
Yeah, they were.
Spread that around.
The
yeah,
only
they weren't,
one
they
that
weren't riding
wasn't
the high lines at all. Like they were. It was a pretty even rotation all the way around.
the
At
only
least
one
it
that
seemed like
wasn't
it.
in double digits was Boquist, and he was at 916.
So
So
he could have
it's not
been.
like he was very far
Yeah,
off.
Right.
yeah, that's good though. You want that, especially early on.
Well, I think their power play looked really good too. They were
Yeah,
holding possession of the puck really well. Even their penalty kill was pretty good. They had a couple like shorthanded opportunities even where they kept the puck in a little bit longer.
them killing that 4-on-3 that they had coming back in the second period
Yeah.
saved
Yeah.
the game for them.
That
Because I think
was
at the time
huge.
it was 2-0 still, right?
No, it was 4-0 going.
No,
they
that,
didn't.
was that was to start the third period.
I thought that was
Yeah.
starting the second. Nope. Okay.
No, it was
No,
4-0
starting
going to the third
Yeah.
because they killed it, and I think it was an even strength goal in the third that
Yeah, it was.
That
It
the
definitely
Toronto
was.
scored. Yeah.
What do you guys? What do you think they do for a goalie tomorrow night?
So that's something that's kind of bothering me. As a report came out today where they're not.
They're still mulling it.
Yeah, I don't like that. They should have had a decision finalized. Like, this is what we're doing. Stick
Yeah.
with
Well,
our guns.
and so I feel like because they talked about it leading up to it, they had the game plan. They were like, "We're gonna alternate because that bit us in the ass last year. We didn't, and then Skidmark got tired. Like whatever went wrong, shit went wrong, right? And now Swayman, great game, 35 saves on 36 shots, like great. The plan from the jump should have been Skidmark game 2. Period.
Yep. Yeah, they should have had it written down. If that's what you're doing, have it written down and make it a plan. Like, this is what we're doing, and we're sticking to it no matter what. Because
Well,
if you
yeah.
have any second guess, what happens is what happens Saturday night, where Swayman stands on his head a little bit, and now it's like, oh shit, what do we do?
Well, I think they need to go Olmark tomorrow night.
I agree.
Yeah.
Stick with what's worked.
Well, it's that it was your plan from the jump. Just because a dude has a great game and does stand on his head, doesn't mean you change the game plan. If you want to make a run at this thing and you're going to make it to the Stanley Cup, you want to keep your guys fresh. And both of them have proven that they're perfectly capable of playing a solid goaltender.
And the thing, too, is, like, they did it all season. Their offensive defense, like, helped produce for them. Like, I know it's playoffs and it's a whole different mindset, but that's just how they have to keep playing. Like, the whole team knows, hey, we did this all season. We got to go out. We got to get pucks on net. We got to be strong in the power play, on the penalty kill, that type of thing. They just need to keep doing what they've been doing for the past 83 games. And they, unless something crazy happens where one of them goes down or anything like that, like, nothing should change, and they should be fine. They could lose a game here or there, lose one or two in the series, but
I get Swayman was great in game 1. Give Ullmark game 2 at home where he's comfortable. You win game 2, you're up 2-0, you go to Toronto and you do the same thing. If you lose 1 of 2 in Toronto, great, you come back home and win it in game 5.
And the thing too, like, starting Ullmark tomorrow night, you're already doing better off than what you did last year. Where you went with one goalie up until for the first 6 games and then decided to switch in game 7. So if you start Ullmark tomorrow night, you're already off to a better start than last year.
I feel like they are going to go Swayman, and I feel like that's going to be a massive kick in the balls.
Mike, I really do think they'll go Ullmark. I think at the end of the day they'll stick with their plan. But I don't think it'll be more so a Montgomery decision. I think it'll be a Swayman, Ullmark, and Montgomery sit them down and be like, look, you said this was the plan going into it. You're the coach, it's your decision, final decision, but we've won how many games we've won this year by doing this. Ride it through the playoffs. Let's see how far it goes. If I go out there and Ullmark go out there and lay a stinker game 2, you have 5 more games to figure it out after that.
Yeah.
I genuinely think Montgomery is thinking, going back to the old school, not old school, but what really happens, thinking of, hey, we have a hot goalie, play him out as much as he can, and they're going to send him down and be like, no.
Well, that's the good point too, right? So if you play Ullmark in game 2 and he does lay a stinker, and you go out, you play Swayman, in game 3. Jared, I see you counting over there. Swayman in game 3, and he stands on his head again. Then maybe you do consider breaking that plan and going Swayman in game 4, game whatever it may be. But I think, especially in game 2, I think it would be kind of foolish to not try and keep Swayman and Ullmark both fresh and give them both a shot, because both of them had an equal hand in getting here.
So here's my question, since I didn't watch them a ton this year, I kind of just followed. With those goalies, was it always 1-1? Like, did they play one and then go to the other guy, or would it be a couple then a couple?
For the most part,
yeah.
I think Ullmark got hurt somewhere in like February, and Swayman had to take over. And
so
Swayman
for the most part,
fine.
it was 1-1.
Yeah, for the most part, it was 1-1.
Okay.
But
I mean, if that's how you've ran it all year and you had the record that you did, I think you stay with the philosophy that it's worked.
I just don't think this should have been something that came out to that, Swayman stood on his head. Now we're mulling the decision of who we want in net in game 2. Like, just keep that shit under wraps. Keep that in-house.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
The only thing, and I don't get why you do this, because I don't think it fucking matters to the Maple Leafs who's in net. The only thing I could see it is as someone thought it'd be a great idea. Like, oh no, we know we're going with Ullmark, but let's leak it that we are mulling it over to see how, get in their heads a little bit. Like that Bill Belichick
it's not
bullshit
impossible.
mind games thing.
It's not impossible. Certainly, if it's already coming out from their locker room, if that's something like that, like it's not impossible.
I mean, I just hope that that's openly communicated to both of the goalies. Like, I hope they know.
I'm sure
at least
it is.
That
I'm sure it is.
They know who's getting the start in net tomorrow.
Yeah,
I think just to even have the full season they did with as much back and forth as they did, and it's like it's just an assumed way of play. I think if anyone on that entire team knows what's going on, it's those two guys and Jim Montgomery and nobody else.
Yeah. Well,
put it this way, I had a feeling we knew this was going to be coming, where the Bruins playoff run, if they go on a deep run this year, it was always going to be weird and have these news stories leak, because no one in hockey's ever done it before, but also no one in hockey has never had 2 incredible fucking starting goaltenders on the same team before. Like it's always been, we have an amazing starting goalie and we have a backup who's good enough just to get us by, not what we have right now.
Which the thing is, it's not like saying like nobody's ever done it before. It's not absurd. Like, it's not this like crazy far-fetched thing. Like, they put a chimpanzee in the goal. Like, it's like it's still, all you need to win a championship is a good goalie. Why can't you have two? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like it's a hindrance. So it's not like some crazy thing that's going to stop them, especially with how they played all year. I just don't see that needing to be a talking point, honestly, because I just think it's moot because they just put up a great record in basically back-to-back years of doing the same thing. So,
I mean, them putting up the record they did this year is even more crazy compared to the last year with Bergeron.
Yeah.
So I know we might move on after this, but I just want to read these regular season stats between Swayman and Allmark. So I'm going to go, first number is going to be Swayman, second one's going to be Allmark. Games played, 44 and 40.
Mm-hmm.
Wins, 25 and 22. Losses, 10 and 10. Overtime losses, 8 and 7. Shutouts, 3 and 2.
Yep.
I don't care about that. Save percentage, .916, .915.
That's absurd.
Goals against average, 2.53, 2.58. Goals allowed, 108 and 103.
I mean, that's just fucking insane. That says it right there. You got to play it back to back.
Well, that's what I mean.
You have to.
They virtually function as one goalie.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Like, who do you pick? You just get a fresher version of the same guy the next day. Like,
and I think the best part too, what makes it so nice, is that it's not one of those situations where it's like, I should be playing over him, or I should.
No,
be
they're
playing
best
over
friends.
They love each other. They stay at each other's houses.
And yeah, like
his kids call fucking Swayman Uncle Sway.
Yeah, and like Allmark's wife and like Swayman's girlfriend like recreated. I don't know what what movie it was from, but they just recreated one. Like,
I just worry after this year. I can't see them having both of those guys next year.
They still do. I think they're still under contract for next year. I'm pretty sure
they do. They
might try to move them. But
that's what I mean. I feel like if they can move them and get some legit pieces, which they 100% could, I think if
I feel like in today's game, though, having two goalies like that, and if both are kind of embracing that, it's so valuable. Like, it's not the same. You can't have a goalie play 70, 75 games with a backup just kind of popping in when a guy needs a day.
Yeah.
Well, so I think it's sure, it's a changing of philosophy on the ice level, right? Like we've already talked about like that. It's not really a common thing, but I think it's also a change in the kind of narrative and change of ideology at the organizational level too. Like, how do you manage that at the contract level? How do you manage that at the asset level? Like, it's totally new. So it'll be interesting this offseason to see, and I'm sure they'll get phone calls for both of those guys.
100%. Well, the issue is they can't trade Allmark. He has a no trade clause.
Yeah.
Can we get Malcolm Subban back?
He's refused to. He's refused any, because they tried to trade him at the trade deadline. They tried to just go with Swayman, trade him to the Kings, I forget what goalie they wanted from the Kings, and Swayman told them to essentially fuck off. Not Swayman. Allmark told them essentially to fuck off.
Right. Well, a lot of times when guys have those no trade clauses, it's usually more so for during the season, because you almost never see a guy waive a no trade during the year in all sports, but you'll see them waive it in the off season. So
yeah, we'll see.
What if we bring Tim Thomas back?
No, don't want it.
He was just at Fenway, wasn't he?
Yeah.
They did a thing for
They dragged him out of his bunker for one day. Then he went crawling back in.
With his suit coat made out of Bible pages.
Yeah. The only other thing I'll say about the Bruins before we go on to the Celtics, Jack Edwards. That shit is just so sad, dude.
It's a tough listen. It is a tough listen.
You can tell every time he messes up. I feel like he has a mute button right next to him where he just starts yelling at himself before he comes back.
Yeah, I can't really touch on it because I was obviously doing stuff last night while the game was on, and I had it muted, so I didn't really hear anything that he said. But
he had a couple
he's just off. It's just off.
saying things off. He combined words. It's like, oh, isn't that a good goalt? Meaning like a good goalie shot or something like that. I forget what he said exactly, but he like combined words and got players' names wrong. So it was
hopefully. Obviously, it might be a tough listen for the next couple of games, but hopefully he can kind of ride off into the sunset. And
well, I think the thing that's toughest to listen, right, is over the years, him and Andy Brickley, how many fucking games have they called together? Thousands.
Yeah.
And I know that Andy Brickley historically kind of takes the back seat to Jack Edwards because that's just kind of the dynamic. And I just wish Andy Brickley would step in a little bit more now that, given the situation, you know.
He did a little bit
now, but it's still like sometimes it's just like he was letting him go a little too long, and it was like it's just sad.
Yeah,
but
it is.
Stormy would like to wish Jack Edwards the best.
Hopefully
shout out the human orgasm
can win and send him off.
That'd be nice. Well, which Nesson just has this series, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. She smells like she got something she wasn't supposed to.
Oh, God.
She got in the toity.
No, she did have some roast beef for dinner, though.
God. Boy.
On to the Celtics.
Speaking of announcers.
Yeah, they lost one too, right?
Yeah, Mike Gorman's down after this year, too.
Gorman.
Yeah.
That one was kind of wild because like I can't hear a Celtics game without Mike Gorman's voice.
Yeah.
Like it's just it's synonymous. Him and Tommy Heinsohn.
Yep.
Yeah. I agree. But yeah, Celtics looked
really good.
Obviously really good playing at home. It's just like
nobody's gonna beat them at the Garden.
Nope. No, that's the thing. It's like you're about as close to being unbeatable without being unbeatable. They're just that dynamite at home.
Well, wasn't that the in 2008 when they won the finals? Didn't they not win a single road game and won every single game at home?
Probably.
I believe
I'm pretty sure. No, because I think they won the finals in LA. I'm pretty sure they didn't win it in Boston. But
yeah,
still.
But Tatum had a triple double today. That was cool. 23, 10, and 10.
Didn't Porzingis also have a triple double?
Porzingis went 18, 4 and 1.
Who the fuck is Tingus Pingus?
Who the fuck is Tingus Pingus?
I
think Tingus Pingus is the X factor. I think that's what's going to bring him to the promised land.
Tingus Pingus is the Celtics' second most important player on the court right now.
You could argue that he is the most important player because of the way he opens up the floor for the other scorers.
I wouldn't say if he went down, it'd be tough. But Jaylen Brown and Tatum, I feel like, could put it away this year.
They could, but I just think that like it's not impossible. I mean, and genuinely, I think you lose one of any of those three guys, they're not done.
I agree.
No, I think that
they'd be okay.
Even if Tatum went down, they still 100% have a shot with two of those three guys.
Even looking at guys on the bench, so obviously playoff time, you really limit your bench, and I'm not saying any of these guys are even in the same realm that
Tatum isn't.
Not Tatum, but any of them. Tingus Pingus, right. Tatum, Porzingis. But O'Shea Brissett is very valuable. Peyton Pritchard's been playing.
He's been playing out of
pretty well.
Mind.
Yeah. Al Horford's still there. He's still contributing. He had 10 points today. Sam Hauser's been fucking knocked down from three. Like we're deep enough where if a guy goes down, you're not gonna get the 25, 30 you get a game from Tatum.
No, they got that 2011 Celtics depth. They got that 2011 Celtics depth with your Leon Poe, the Posies.
Was Glenn Big Baby Davis there at that point, or is that too early?
So. I think he was. Who was the other guy? Tony Allen was on that team. Like,
do we believe Peyton Pritchard is fucking 6'1"?
Yeah. Again, you got to look at him. Think about the average height in the NBA. He looks small, but it's because he's next to those guys.
All right, this rant still stands then. Because I need the rant about fucking Peyton Pritchard for a minute. Not really about him. If you are an NBA center, any height taller than 6'5", and Peyton Pritchard is jumping over you to grab a fucking rebound, he had 3 offensive boards today. Put your hand. Yeah.
You just wanted more
offensive board. He had 3 defensive boards,
Oh,
but only one.
Either way, Peyton Pritchard should not be grabbing down 4 rebounds.
Peyton Pritchard, though,
in the modern game, point guards get a lot of rebounds because not a lot of teams go after second chance opportunities, so the ball is just kind of there.
His rebounds are where the ones like there are actual players down there trying to grab the ball, and he's just like
a gamer. Peyton Pritchard also played 24 minutes today and had a plus 19 on the plus minus.
Yeah, that works.
You had
dog.
The knockoff Nikola Jokic. You had Nikola Jovic had 10 points as a starter, but had a minus 25.
Oh, that's pretty good, right?
Jesus,
good, right?
Yeah. They won by 20, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So, and I want to touch on that a little bit too. I'm sure you guys probably saw the video of Caleb Martin kind of taking out Tatum at his lower half a little bit.
Dirtiest fucking play in the NBA. Yeah.
So I don't even think Tatum should have sniffed the court in the fourth quarter.
No.
You were up 32 points after 3.
And even still, and you know that your second unit can easily contain.
Yeah. Even still, Tatum played 41 minutes. I don't.
Yeah, if you're killing teams in the playoffs,
there was no reason for it. You still won by 20. You're telling me Tatum couldn't rest for the entire fourth quarter? You don't have that much faith in our bench to get that done?
I don't even know if it's that much faith. I almost wonder if there's some pettiness going on because Joe Mazzulla might be one of the most petty coaches in the NBA.
Yeah, he might just want to bury the Heat.
I think he just wants to. Yeah, exactly.
Which is great. Bury them by winning 4 games to 9.
Guys. Yeah,
right. Like if Tatum got hurt there, which he very well could have.
I thought he got hurt.
You look like a fucking fool.
Yeah,
and I mean that play by Caleb Martin was dirty. I don't care what anybody says. He tried to help him up after.
Caleb Martin is just kind of a dirty player in general. It's not the first time he's been caught doing something like that.
It's just sketchy how it happened, too. So Spoelstra called a timeout a minute before that happened and then talked about it, and then that happens. It's like just timing of all... And there was no reason for him to call a timeout at the time, either. Just timing of that is just... It's sketchy.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't like saying Spoelstra told him to do it, because... The dude, he is a good coach. Like, he is a good basketball coach as it is, but just the whole way it looks.
Yeah,
bad.
I mean, just get a feel, dude. And we talked about it with the Bruins, too. If you want to make a run at this thing, that's 2. If you want to make a run at this thing, you got to be smart with your superstars. Not even just your superstars. Your guys that play significant minutes.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
It was inspirational.
Thank you.
Nearly brought me to tears.
I'm very moved by your speech.
Back to the Caleb Martin thing, because I'm not done yet. Chris, did you listen to the broadcast at all? I don't know if that's a dirty player or not. Doris Burke needs to be so far away from my fucking television during the NBA playoffs.
You take Doris Burke's name out of your fucking mouth.
I will not stand for this Doris Burke
Absolutely
slander.
Not. Absolutely not.
She's national treasure.
She hates the Celtics. Get off my television.
Everybody hates any Boston sports team.
That's fair.
Cam, you could just mute the TV and listen to like Sean Grande and Cedric Maxwell.
I could do that.
98.5.
That takes a lot of effort, though, Jerry.
Does it? You press mute and then press play on your phone. I don't think that's
that's too much effort than what I want. Because you got to make sure it's synced well. They could be calling a goal. You're looking up. It's the fuck's going on.
There's no goals in basketball, but that's all right.
All right, you know what?
They score goals in basketball now?
They do now, yeah.
Yeah, I just watched that Caleb Martin play. Yeah, that's a fucking dirty play.
You just don't do that, dude.
Do they... Chris, you might know the answer to this question. Because I know, like, in the NHL, during questionable calls and plays and whatnot, they go back and they look at it afterwards.
They do.
They can, add,
they didn't review that.
So they do the same thing in the NBA?
Yep. They do.
Yeah, they review for,
play.
flagrant 1, flagrant 2.
That easily should have been a flagrant.
Yeah.
I don't know if they called it for a flagrant or not.
They didn't.
If it's that hard of an intentional foul, because I know that's not by the book an intentional foul, but he intentionally fouled him.
He didn't even go for the ball. He ran at his lower back.
And just threw his hips out.
Yeah.
And just threw his hip out, yeah. Yeah, no, that should have been an ejection, to be honest. That's a really bad foul.
It was pretty good. It was a great basketball play.
I will say kudos to all the Celtics players for not just going and absolutely trying to cave his face in.
Well, I think the biggest thing was Tatum just getting up and immediately walking away.
Getting out
I know,
of there.
I know.
Yeah.
I kind of just wearing it on the chest, be like, "Yep, I get what that is." Like you can't beat us to try to hurt us, basically.
Yeah.
And that was everything that I read.
Game too.
Well, that's the Tatum revenge game coming.
Well,
game 2, he's going to drop 50.
50 points. 50 piece.
Helpful when you stand up and you have 7'5" Tingus Pingus going after the guy for you. Then
Tingus Pingus just reaches his arm out from 13 feet away.
He's actually sitting on the bench and he reaches out.
It's just like Slender Man.
Yep. Oh yeah, I think they're going to handle the Heat. I see it maybe going 5 games, 6 max. I could see them winning it in 4. I could see them winning in 4.
If it goes to 6, that's a problem.
Yeah, though I think there's a very real chance they could just sweep it out, and
they should only lose 1 to the Heat, if that.
They'll lose 1 in Miami.
I'm always like,
they might lose the first game in Miami because it's your first playoff game of the year at home. Like people fired up.
Miami fans might not even show up. They have a big
Jimmy.
thing for
why
that.
am I going to spend money on a playoff ticket?
They have a big thing for that. They don't show up half the time down there. I think when they won it, the stadium was empty. Because you've got that video coming out of Miami where they're all 12 fans who stayed were chanting, "We want Boston." So it's like,
what year did they win it?
Miami?
Yeah.
What was the last time LeBron was there?
What was the year did they lose in the finals? The year they knocked out the Celtics?
Yeah, that was last year. They lost to the Nuggets.
Last year they lost to Denver. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
And then the year before that, the Celtics lost to the Warriors. In the finals. Yeah.
Every time I hear the "We want Boston" chants anywhere, all I think of is that Jared Carabas video, and they're like, "Oh, maybe we really didn't want Boston."
Yeah.
Well,
very rarely does that pan out when any franchise, when you say we want someone, you're basically asking to get the shit kicked out of you.
Yeah.
Like,
but it was really because I think it was the Yankees fan, right?
Yeah.
And he goes, "We're coming," and he goes, "Yeah, you are coming. I'm not coming to this show stadium. You're coming to us."
and especially you're talking playoffs. What's the Yankees historically in the last 20 years against the Red Sox in the playoffs have won how many series?
0, right?
I mean, 20 years now they've won 0 because the last series they beat the Red Sox in the playoffs was 0-3.
Yeah, because we didn't play them in 09, right?
We've played them in 04. We played them in 04, 13, and 18.
Yeah. So.
And we knocked them out in 21 in the wild card game.
Yeah. Did we play them in 09 when they won or no? I forget.
I don't think the Red Sox even made the playoffs that year.
Yeah. I'd like to go back and think about any fan base that's chanted "We want Boston." Has your team ever won?
Yeah, how'd that work out for you?
I don't think in the past 10 years at least, whenever a fan base has chanted "We want Boston," it has never worked out good for them.
Remember the Dodgers chanted that when they won the NLCS.
Yeah.
You got the absolute brakes beaten off you in the game. It took you 18 innings to score 3 runs, you bums.
18 innings and a fucking IKF ball thrown. He didn't want to go to bed that night.
IKF, huh? IKF, huh?
Wow.
Ian Kinsler?
Yep.
The fact that you even just mentioned IKF in a Red Sox sentence is
I apologize.
Disgusting.
That's 2.
Appalling. Where is IKF now? Minnesota?
No, Toronto.
That's right.
Not even a starter.
I mean,
stinker.
He wasn't a starter with the Yankees either, was he?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
I think it was you. Yeah, no, it wasn't.
He's kind of a super utility
guy. Everyday shortstop.
Yeah.
Well, Volpe played every day last year.
No, Volpe wasn't up at the start last year.
Yeah. And then he was bouncing around, and
I don't believe you.
Remember when IKF was a catcher?
Yep.
For the Rangers.
Good times.
Jared doesn't even know who IKF is.
No, I don't.
Isaiah Kiner Falefa.
He goes, "What are we talking about?
Falafel?"
Jared,
falafel.
Isaiah Kiner Falafel.
Pingus. I know that guy.
All right, let's get this shit. We just took 40 minutes to get through 2 marks on this fucking schedule, so let's keep this shit going. NFL draft.
Let's just touch on Let's touch on the Patriots for the draft, and
all right, let's go around. Who do you think they're taking?
Drake
Cam first.
Jaden Daniels.
Really?
Yep. I don't think Washington's gonna. I think either Washington just absolutely passes on him, or we have an Eli Manning situation where they draft him. He says, "I'm not fucking playing for you. Trade me."
Jared.
Drake May.
Chris.
Drake May.
I also say Drake May, brother.
So I'm looking on, I know we said just Patriots, but I'm looking at the NFL.com mock draft that they have now, and just the first 5 picks. They have 4 quarterbacks going off the board in the first 5 picks.
That makes sense.
Is Marvin Harrison the 5th player?
5th pick, yeah.
Is the
To
4th
who?
quarterback J.J. McCarthy?
I was just gonna say
They
that.
have J.J. McCarthy going to the Giants.
I heard he lit it up at the combine.
He was
did.
being
Well,
compared
Combine.
to
combine.
saying better
He
than Drake
wasn't.
May.
He wasn't even supposed to be a first-round pick.
Yeah, and he just lit it the fuck up. I mean, he's an athlete, and he's obviously a very intelligent quarterback. So
The safest quarterback to take in the draft is J.J. McCarthy.
yeah, I think. But the thing is, I think he's safe in the sense that I think you know what he can do, but I don't think his ceiling is as high as the other guys.
Exactly. His floor.
I think his floor is higher than maybe some of the other guys, but his ceiling's not as high.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like his area of up and down is a lot smaller.
Yeah.
Like you kind of know what you're getting with him, I think.
Yeah.
How do we feel about Elliot Wolf coming out this past week saying that we are quote unquote open for business when it comes to the
it's all smoke and mirrors.
I don't think we're gonna move it. I think we would be foolish to move it.
If Minnesota comes to us and says we'll give you our next 3 first-round picks
and Justin
Jefferson, we'll trade the 3rd pick. Yeah.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like it would need to be a haul.
Yeah, King's
for it
ransom
to make sense.
to get rid of.
And I think they would probably need another first-round pick back, like a later first-round pick in that deal, like because I don't think they're just gonna not have a first-round.
Oh
pick.
yeah, no, yeah. From the Vikings, it was the first 2 picks they have, the pick next year, and probably another pick after that.
Gotcha.
And
Does the
Justin
Vikings
Jefferson.
have? Are they?
They have 2 right now in the first round.
Do they have 11 or 13?
11 and 36. No,
that's not a first-round pick.
So the Vikings are projected, at least on this, to be taking Bo Nix.
Ew.
At 11.
Do they have a quarterback right now?
No, Kirk Cousins left for Atlanta.
So they just don't have anybody on the roster right now?
Which is ironic that you say that, because I just saw the video of Kirk Cousins throwing out the first pitch in Atlanta, and the Bat Boy was the one catching him, which seems a little weird. But
11
Isn't
and
Kirk Cousins also
Jared.
under investigation for like premature collusion for that contract?
Yeah.
That he was in talks with the Falcons during the season last year.
Yeah.
Speaking of that,
Oh, they all
I
fucking
just thought
talk.
I just thought of a topic I want to touch on next.
He go and get booed when he plays in Minnesota.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Baseball time?
Yeah.
Are we not? Are we still on this?
Go Boston Red Sox.
Playing
13
an absolute...
and 10 with the Woo Sox.
Well, they're playing a poverty franchise in the Pirates this last week.
Fuck off!
Oh, really? You didn't say the same fucking thing about the Rockies, you jack off?
Kim, we told you exactly what was going to happen.
Yes, we did.
Listen,
At this time, 2 weeks ago, you were on your high horse because you were in first place and it wasn't even close. You know where you are now? Fucking 4th.
Yeah, listen. They waited till April was over before they started sucking last year, right? Make it out of April this year.
You just got swept by the poverty Red Sox. AAA Boston Red Sox.
I would say we just got swept by the Woo Sox. Make it worse than it actually is.
Yeah,
it's fair enough.
We got Tristan now on the 10-day, right? Rib tightness.
10-day, but
I don't know how you can have a tight bone, but give him rib tightness.
He didn't do enough yoga before the game.
It sounds like he might have fractured a rib. So that's a 6-week recovery.
That's not. No, it won't be.
Yeah.
I love it.
It'll be quicker than that, 100%.
So
that's something you can play with, and you can't really re-aggravate it. Like if he wants to just tough it out, he can, and it's not going to change anything.
Depends on if he wants to tough it out for the season or not.
I mean, you got Raffy too. I thought the Raffy thing really made no fucking sense to me. That you're like, oh, he's going to get an MRI on his knee. We're going to get an opinion on it. And then the next day he wakes up and he goes, yeah, my knee feels good. So then you put him in the fucking lineup, and then the next day he's like, wow, my knee is worse than it was before. Like, this doesn't make any fucking sense. Don't put him in the lineup until you know what the problem is.
With Raffy, though, because it came out today, he was begging Alex Cora to put him in the lineup today.
I don't give a fuck. I don't care.
That's more so what I think is.
Care.
I think Raffy, he woke up the day you're talking about. It's like, there's a little tweak, but it's way better. So it says it was way better. So he goes and plays. And then, oh shit, now it's actually worse. I think that's a little bit what's going on.
Listen, right? Like, we all know, we've been competitive athletes all at certain points in our lives. Like, if you really are that guy and you really want to play, like, I fucking broke my foot before a game in high school, and I still tried to play. Like, and I shouldn't have. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, if you can get yourself on the field, you're going to fucking play. And it's the coach's job and the staff's job to basically be like, no, you should not be playing. You're going to make your injury worse, so on and so forth. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care if he's fucking begging you. You don't fucking play him until he gets an MRI done.
Well,
you just don't.
I don't know what happened. That is the weird part. That I agree with what you're saying, where that being, it's weird that they even sent him back out there after he said something was not feeling right.
Doesn't make any sense.
I think
but then it was then the report that came out the next day saying he left the game and he still hasn't had an MRI. It's like, I figured, we got an MRI, there's nothing there. He's now playing. He re-aggravated it. They're going to get a second opinion. It's like, no, they just never got it looked at, and then he just fucking went and played. Like, it doesn't make any sense at all.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you guys think there's some dysfunction going on with the Red Sox?
I think we've
100%.
I think we've seen this going on for years before Heim, even, because it seemed like guys were getting hurt left, right, center ever since 2018. I don't know what they're doing differently or if they've lost people. I think their training staff is just shit. Like
here's the thing though. Look across the entire MLB. This is my next talking point. Like, it just seems like injuries are on the massive uptick for just in baseball across the board right now. I mean, you got Spencer Strider and Shane Bieber going down in the same week for the whole season. Like, that's two of the best pitchers in the game going down. I mean, you got Garrett Cole right now, who's still kind of a question mark. I mean, go down the fucking list. Like, it's fucking endless. There's another reliever, I think, for the Twins that just went down and is getting TJ.
I was just gonna say, other than the Red Sox, it's just pitchers. That's the only thing is that I've noticed is it's all pitchers getting hurt. I want to ask, does anyone believe it's the pitch clock?
No. I honestly want to know what my opinion is. I think that modern baseball has fallen in love with the 100-mile-an-hour fastball, the triple-digit pitch. Yeah. The triple-digit pitch and the super high spin rates.
Yep.
Super high spin rates and shit like that. With like, yeah, that's cool if you're a reliever and you're throwing 10, 15 pitches at a time. But, like, this is why a guy like Jacob deGrom can't fucking stay on the field.
Yeah.
And why a guy like Justin Verlander has had Tommy John 3 times.
Yep.
And Ohtani has had Tommy John twice. Like, you're pushing these numbers, and these guys are freak athletes. They can get to those numbers. They can hit 103, 104, 105, but it's not sustainable. Our bodies are not built to maintain that. Your UCL and PCL and the entire build-out of your arm is not built to withstand that kind of stress and to be able to do it continuously week in and week out. That's like, I mean, look at fucking Greg Maddux. Look at fucking Jamie Moyer. Look at these guys that pitched in their 40s.
I was about to say, give me more Jamie Moyers.
Yeah.
Dude, like Justin Verlander is an anomaly.
Yeah.
The fact that dude threw smoke his whole career and he's in his 40s now and he's still playing is like Nolan Ryan. Like, you're going to have those anomalies.
Yeah.
But for the normal man, like, baseball is the gentleman's game where you don't have to be this freak specimen to play, but like with enough training, like a good athlete can get up there, but it doesn't fucking last.
So
I think that's my opinion, at least. I think that's what the issue is.
I tend to agree with that. The only other thing too that I'd add to that, I think it was Cora that said it, and it was when Pivetta went down. Is, you know, a lot of these guys, like, you love to see the dedication where the season ends and they go back to their home and they have pitching labs built into their house where they're playing with spin rate and throwing there. Pitchers aren't taking an actual off season anymore. Pitchers are going and they're, you know, after the end of the season, immediately throwing again and not resting their arm even a little bit. So that's constant all year round throwing. That adds up for a lot of these tendons that you're seeing.
But the thing, I guess, playing devil's advocate to that, right, is the thought that if you are throwing all year long, at least, like, so obviously it's dialed back in the off season. You're not.
Yes.
You're probably throwing once every 10 days to 2 weeks. You might have a throwing program in the middle where you're at least playing catch, stretching the arm out. The idea is doing that as least not at like max effort. Is you're actually conditioning your arm, and it's going to be better for longer in the regular season. So I don't think that the duration and how often they pitch is the problem, because I mean, if anything, pitchers throw less in games now than they ever have.
Well, that's the thing, is that wherever I was reading it made it sound like, no, that's like they're going max effort in the off season. to keep that arm strength up.
Not they
But if
really
that's the
they really aren't.
Mm.
My cousin is just does it. I know what he like. I've talked to him about exactly what he does, and like it's not like a full, because I mean obviously you still want rest. It's just a different kind of throwing program to what you're doing during the year, and I really think that ultimately the issue is just that uptick of velocity and spin rate that's like required. And even like Glasnow is saying he basically said, this was like 6 months ago, he said this, that he really thought that taking sticky stuff away was going to cause more injuries because guys are going to have to really work on snapping sliders harder, working on getting the fastball to come off with that rise a little bit harder. You're going to have to grip the ball harder. It makes your muscles tighten. Like it very well could have to do with that too.
Oh. Glasnow, the guy who said word for word on our podcast, "I'm a slut for the radar gun."
Yeah. But he's honest though. And that's
fucking amazing.
He said it. He when they started doing the crackdown on the sticky stuff, and like which he still uses the legal stuff now, which is like he even said he uses still sunscreen and dirt, like, which is, again, that's, you're not supposed to use it, but sunscreen's not an illegal substance. So you have some stuff that's still in play. But he was like, when you could use tack and stuff like that, you wouldn't have to grip the ball so tight and have to overexert yourself to get those RPMs. Which, this is the first time ever in baseball history you've had any extended period of time where that shit's been illegal. I mean, I shouldn't say legal, enforced. It's always been illegal.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I don't know. It's an interesting thing down the stretch. I think it's kind of one of those things. We're in the infancy of this era of baseball with the pitch clock, with a different style of pitching without sticky stuff. Like it's in its infancy, and the more you kind of go through it, that I think it's going to kind of be a little easier to tell what the issue is.
I say fuck it, and we let these guys push themselves. You want to do steroids? Do it. You want to use sticky stuff? Do it. Let's see how far a ball can get hit. See how much spin rate you can put on a single pitch.
Steroids is a bit of a stretch. I think a certain level of sticky stuff being legal is 110% on the table. Like, I don't want no Phil Niekro fucking scrubbing down a ball with an emery board in your back pocket, but like within reason, like give me back the rosin, like the heavy rosin, even spider tack, like whatever, dude. Like
whatever, dude.
I don't know. I just think it could be better for the game, and especially with pitch clock stuff. You're already making these pitchers change a lot. Like, give them something back. Have some give and take.
Yeah.
All right. We moving on to the snake.
Do we want to talk on the Sox a little bit?
Do we want to touch a little more on the Sox or not?
We can touch a little bit. I mean, I feel like we kind of addressed their recent sort of.
They swept the Pirates. Fuck the Pirates. That is all.
Yeah, they swept the Pirates. Poverty.
Can I mention one thing about ticket prices, which boggles my mind?
That they're still really fucking expensive.
So, and I get it was Marathon Monday. I understand that. It's one of the best days to be in the city of Boston. Tickets being over $115. Little risky.
So did you buy...
Hold on.
Okay,
the fact that they go back down $100 to $15 on Tuesday boggles my mind.
Yeah.
Supply and demand, Jared. Supply and demand.
So, this is the first time I've ever seen this on my birthday. The Red Sox sent out an email. It's like, oh, here's $10 off each ticket you buy through RedSox.com.
Wow, $10.
Yeah, but
I was at fucking Costco yesterday. Costco was selling Red Sox game packages.
Bro.
Yeah.
What a time to be alive, huh?
Yeah. But, I mean...
What a time to be a Boston sports fan. This is...
The only thing I will say that's a saving grace, I guess, for ownership. If I told you the Red Sox, within the first month of the season, lost for any period of time, at the same time, Cassis, Devers, O'Neill, Trevor Story, Grissom, what would you guess their record would be?
Probably 3 games less than what they're at now.
Yeah, so like 10 and 13, flip the record.
Yeah.
Under probably 500 instead of over. Instead, I give the players they have coming up. I know it's the Pirates. And today the Pirates looked like the 2024 Boston Red Sox. They look like they just switched. But for them to come up and put the lineup they put out today and even sweep the Pirates.
To be fair, the lineup they put out today was better than some of the ones they put out last week.
That's fair. That's
As
fair.
long as we don't
last
have
week were pretty
Manuel
fucking
Valdez
bad.
hitting 4, we're good.
Hey, you know who's actually starting to come around and hitting a little bit?
Fucking
Willier.
Yeah.
Willier Abreu was starting
Didn't
to
he-
fucking hit.
Was it today or yesterday that he had a really good game?
Both.
Today.
Both days.
Both.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had 2 knocks yesterday, and I think he had a home run today, right?
He needs to
No,
be
he had
in
a home
there.
run yesterday.
Home run yesterday? Yeah.
He needs to be in there against righties. At bare minimum, when everyone's healthy, he needs to find a way to get in the lineup against righties. I don't know how you do it when you have Tyler O'Neill back and healthy, but
Yeah, and I don't know how you have it when Yoshida is starting to heat up too, where he's your
Yeah.
DH and he kills righties.
yeah. So
Definitely going to be a tough decision to make.
I mean, I guess it's easy this year with no Story. You just have Rafaela play short every day, and then you switch between Ref
Yeah, I
Snyder
love
and
how
Willier.
how Alex Cora a week ago was like, nope, we're gonna platoon between Pablo Lopez and Valdez at shortstop and blah 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 blah. And now Rafael has played like 3 of the last 7 games at shortstop.
Well, he tried to say it as like, oh, like injuries happened. We had to make sure he was in the outfields. He was doing it when you had a full outfield. You could have done it last week.
Yeah, no,
That's
Again.
why I asked about the dysfunction.
it just seems like everything they say to media is just I don't even know what you call it. I guess just like it's just like bold-faced lies. Like it's just filler. It's literally just filler.
Yeah.
You're just like, yeah, we'll say it so they got something to put on a headline.
Yeah.
It's answering the question without answering
Exactly.
the
That's
question.
all.
100%. Yeah.
Well, we'll see. They're on
All right,
pace for a 90-win season.
Just really, really fast. AL East, only division in all of baseball without a team below 500.
Mhm.
Best division in baseball. Changed
The
my mind.
Sox, what, in third?
Third.
Third, yeah. 13 and 10.
Hey,
Running down the thing real quick. Pittsburgh Pirates, 4th place. Shitters. 11 and 11. Colorado Rockies, 5 and 16. Very nice.
Better than the White Sox, baby!
Washington Nationals, 10 and 11.
hey,
Kansas City Royals, 13 and 9. Thank you for coming.
I want
Poverty division.
I want to add a team
There's
to
a lot of
watch
baseball left.
until the ship rights itself over in the AL West. Oakland Athletics, 8-14, 4th place.
Yep.
Fuck the Houston Astros.
Fuck the Houston Astros.
Just want to be able to sleep it as long as possible.
The Athletics have played a couple games that felt like just fucking middle fingers to the fucking ownership.
Oh, yeah.
They
Yeah.
played a couple games where they just went out and balled, and I was
Yeah.
like, "What the fuck going on here?"
Ready to rock and roll.
Like Shea
One
Langolier's just dropping dick with a 3 home run game out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
Casual.
Well, if I had told
one
you,
question before we go. Oh, go ahead, Cam.
if I had told you on April 20th, the 21st, the Athletics were above the Houston Astros, you would have told me I was fucking crazy. They
Sure.
made it a month.
One question before we go to the draft, and all I want is a yes or no from all 3 of you. Do the Chicago White Sox finish with the worst record in baseball history?
No.
They're 3 and 18 at the moment.
What's
They
the
won't.
worst record?
It's like 35 wins or something like that. Isn't it
I'm
the
gonna be
Cleveland
honest,
Spiders?
I'm gonna say yes.
Jerry
Yes.
just out here to wreak havoc.
I'm saying yes.
I mean, isn't that the whole reason why I started joining this podcast?
Oh wait,
It's
no,
really
no,
comedic value and
no.
to
Isn't it like 35 wins, Cam?
It's 20 and 134. In the modern era, it's
Oh.
36.
Okay,
It's
so
the
modern
Cleveland
era is
Spiders, right?
36.
No, Philadelphia
So they-
Athletics.
Okay.
So they can't win more than 33 more games for me to be correct.
I'm gonna say yes.
That'll be close. I think they'll be in the mid 40s.
I think
they're
they just
gonna-
play in too shitty of a division to.
Exactly. I still think they'll probably lose 110 to 120 games, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That was all.
All right. Chips. Fritas, as they say in Espanol.
We gotta pull up the name
Yeah,
of wheels.
Fire
right?
up that draft order. It's about to get serious in here. No friends, no mo.
All right, we got Sam, we have Chris, we have Jared, we have Cam. Here we go. With the first overall pick in the draft of chips, Sam.
Fuck.
With the second overall pick in the draft of chips, will be Can, aka Cam, because I don't know how to type.
All right, and
With
now for the
the
worst spot in the entire draft.
third
Yeah.
overall
Third
pick,
overall pick.
myself.
Boom job.
And Jared will be 4.
All right, are we doing 4 rounds?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ready?
Jared's got 6 pages of notes over here.
Notes, so he's like, what chip? With
No,
the flavor
I just don't
profile?
Chris, you should know this. I just don't like writing under like one sheet of paper, so I have
All right.
multiple things.
Yeah,
I have my number 1.
1-1.
This might be controversial. I don't
A
think
lot
it
of
is.
pressure. Hold on. Do-do-doon, do-doon, doon, doon.
This pick is in with the first overall pick. Team Sam selects Cool Ranch Doritos.
I see why you did that. I don't know if Cool Ranch was making it back around to you at number 2.
Yeah,
But,
it's one of those things where I know a lot of people like nacho cheese more, but for me, 1-1 without question is Cool Ranch Doritos.
I mean,
it's
I
not
had
even
Cool Ranch
fucking
on mine.
close,
I had it on my list.
Yeah.
dude. Electric, great fucking chip, and it's a chip that goes with fucking everything. By
Yeah.
the way,
Yeah, it does.
that's one of the best things about it.
I'm going to
A little
buzz in.
buffalo.
and
You ever
take,
have a little buffalo chicken dip with a Cool Ranch Dorito? If you haven't, I suggest you do.
fire.
You ever make like not when I do baked nachos with all the shit on it? Do that with Cool Ranch Doritos.
Uh-huh.
Unreal.
We're fat.
Yeah, we are.
We're happy.
I'm going to take the other basic-ass Dorito. Give me nacho cheese.
Yeah, I figured that one was gonna go in the first round. Honestly,
I thought you were taking nacho cheese. I was gearing up to take Cool Ranch.
well, that's yeah. I think I would agree that those are
Those
probably
two.
the 2
Yeah.
best consensus chips out there.
Yeah.
All right.
Chris with the number 3.
Personal preference here, but with the 3rd overall pick in the chip draft, I select cheddar and sour cream ruffles.
Ooh.
Baked or standard?
Standard.
Okay.
Standard.
See, controversial opinion. I would take.
Got the ridges in there. Ooh.
I'd take the baked ones over the regular ones are good, but the baked ones.
The baked ones are fire.
Yeah, something about those baked ones pretty fucking good.
There's some pretty good baked chips out there.
Mm-hmm.
Jared?
Did we say that types of crackers could be included in this conversation?
Like we talking like Cheez-Its Goldfish.
Yes.
Yes.
I will allow it.
Okay, then with my first overall
It's the
pick, I am
Cheez-Its.
taking flavor blasted goldfish.
Oh.
That's a
Decent.
wild pick for the
I
first
don't know
round.
if that was going.
He also the flavor blasted is not a flavor. What flavor is it blasted?
Cheddar? Yeah. Wow. I did not. I thought he was going Cheez-Its.
Oh, and I go again?
Yeah. Now he might.
A little aside on goldfish. I was at Market Basket the other day. There was a lady that was about 4'8" who was behind me with a giant ass fucking. She had a full fucking push cart in the grocery store, and half of it was filled with goldfish.
Honestly,
I don't know. I don't know what kind of business she's running, but big on the goldfish.
I'm surprised that hasn't been me yet. When I go to the shop.
I do really like goldfish.
Goldfish are fire.
Although I would
Since
have
we-
picked a different flavor, but I don't think the flavor that I would have picked is going to end up on this. But I'll save it for an honorable mention for the end.
Well, with my second overall pick,
Cheez-Its.
everybody was correct. I am going to go with the OG Cheez-Its, the original. None of that extra toasted.
Kind of wild that you took 2 crackers in a chip draft, but we won't talk about it.
We'll
I mean,
let
hey,
it
it's allowed,
slide.
so
It just because it's allowed doesn't mean you should do it.
It just feels wrong that you
It's like
said that.
masturbating on an airplane.
What?
Because you
Isn't that
can
a
do it
quote
doesn't mean
from
you
The
should. Saying.
isn't that quote from The Hangover?
Well, he said it's not illegal. It's just frowned upon, like masturbating on an airplane.
Oh, and then he goes, "Thanks a lot, Osama bin Laden."
yeah. Thanks, 9/11. All right,
Boy.
Chris with the number 6 pick in the official Bush League Boys Chips draft.
With the 6th pick in the chip draft, I'm selecting spicy sweet chili Doritos.
I respect that. That is
Okay.
the correct number 3 best Doritos flavor. So,
Yes.
Actually, I don't even know if I could think of another flavor of Doritos.
There's like
Is
hot
it just
nacho
me, or does
cheese
Chris
now.
look
isn't
like
there
the
like-
guy
isn't
from
there like-
Home Improvement with half his face being off the screen?
Yeah, kind of.
Is that just me, or is
What
that
you
for you
say?
guys too?
So what
Now
say
it's
you?
half. Now it's half off for me.
I remembered another flavor of Dorito, actually. Midnight Taco. I don't know if you guys remember that one.
No.
Never heard of it. See, Cam, we were
Well,
right.
see-
Sam's gonna throw some curveball.
Well, see,
at
my
him.
shit's all out of whack because when I was in Australia, they had a billion different flavors.
Oh my god. Oh,
So
my
Sam,
God.
when you went off
We
the
knew
call
it
your
was
dad,
coming.
I said to Jared and I were talking about how you're gonna throw some random chick, and I was like, yeah, when I was in Australia, I had this chick.
Listen, no, I'm just talking. This is just strictly Doritos wise, because none of the chips I had there would break this list. But like, they had a million flavors of Doritos. Like, there was like Americana was a flavor,
The
and they
fuck?
had like just Mexican flavored Doritos. Like,
That's
this
weird.
shit was all over the map.
That's
What was
weird.
it? Dorito with like taco seasoning on it?
Basically, yeah.
All right, 7th pick.
Yeah.
I gotta go. The Wachusett branded the sour cream and onion chips.
Ooh,
I
that's
respect
a
it.
good pick. And I think you just inspired Chris for his next pick because I know what he's taking.
I'm not taking those, but I know what you're thinking. They're so good.
They could come out in the 4th round, maybe if they're still there.
I mean, it's a definite possibility. I have a couple different ways I want to go with number 3 here, but we'll see where we're at for number 4.
I'm very happy with my 2nd overall pick. Pirates Booty.
Pirates booty.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's a good one.
Again, kind of a maybe not necessarily a chip. I put it in the same category as like a Cheeto, but still elite.
Great pick.
That's
Thank
a good
you.
one. I'll give you that.
Thank you. And with my 3rd, I'm gonna go. Damn, this is a tough one because then I don't pick for a while after this.
And you're picking Mr. Irrelevant.
I'm gonna go Flamin' Hot Cheetos. Is that allowed? Is that a chip?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
If goldfish can be allowed, Cheetos can
Okay.
be allowed.
Thoughts on the pick?
Well, I was gonna take it, so
Okay.
yeah.
Still pretty good then.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
I respect it.
I'm gonna have to add in. I'll take my chip. That's not a chip. The Fritos barbecue twists.
You son of a bitch.
I knew there was gonna be one that hurt somebody's feelings, and that was that one.
God damn it, Cam. I thought that one was I didn't think anybody was even going to sniff that
I
one.
love those.
Oh
Yeah.
no, we were talking about it before you guys signed
Yeah,
on.
because
That was-
Cam
Yeah.
asked me if that would be in play, and I said absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, I'm gonna take one that a lot of people maybe aren't familiar with. I know Sam is
I know which
familiar
ones
with
you're going with.
familiar with this chip from our time at Dandini's together. So I'm gonna take Zapp's Voodoo chips. Yeah.
Basically, the best salt and vinegar chip you've ever had in your fucking life.
Elite.
Yeah, it's really good. You ever had their gator tots?
I haven't.
Those are pretty good.
Okay, I've seen this bag before. Okay, I never had them, but I've seen the bag.
They're
Cam, is Holly still up?
No, she's asleep.
Ah, damn it!
I don't
Gonna have her
believe him.
come in to give us.
I'll call her. Hold on.
I was gonna say have her come in to review
Chris
our
goes,
chips.
I'll call her.
He's gonna have her review our list and give us placements, but we can wait till next week. She can do it.
Cam's actually doing all right with his draft this week. I'll give him.
Yeah, no, I
chips.
honestly, I think the most suspect one so far is Jared by far with taking 2 crackers to start.
Yeah,
But
Jared, this pick
Jared,
better be
save the
pretty good.
draft here. Save it.
My next pick is an OG pick.
Okay.
I'm going with simple but delicious.
I think he's gonna say
Lay's
Ruffles.
barbecue.
Oh, okay.
Barbecue Lays.
Which ones, Jared? Which ones?
You mean
Just the
which
normal
ones?
or the baked?
The normal ones.
See,
I don't think I've ever had the
Nah,
baked
see, you
ones.
fucked up.
Again, I
Yeah,
agree.
you
Cam.
fucked
We're
up.
on the same page. Cam.
You fucked up.
Oh wow.
All right, Jared. Again, wrapping up your 4-piece.
Oh God.
I think this one was a lot of options. We're going to go around for a fifth for an honorable mention that will not be listed on your draft, but one you want to give a shout out to. Shouts out to. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Shout out Scotty P, you know what I'm saying?
All right, so this one might just make like my whole draft fall apart, and that's okay because I'm gonna take it either way. I'm gonna go with I believe they're the sour cream and onion Pringles.
I don't hate that one.
Decent.
I'm kind of surprised, honestly. That's the first Pringles we've had on here.
That's
yeah, because there's
What
a
made me
couple
think of
really
it
good
is-
Pringles flavors.
What made me think of it is I ate a whole can of the pizza flavored
They're
ones
so easy to
yesterday.
eat.
Oh my god!
No, you know what? Actually, the mesquite barbecue Pringles are, or
They
have a
have
nasty.
mesquite barbecue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
well,
do.
catch me dumping those things out onto a fucking paper plate because trying to reach my fat hand in the bottom of that tiny fucking
What do you
tin
mean? You
can.
just
No,
fucking
see,
drink them.
yeah.
You just fucking
No, but
tip
Chris,
the tin
here's
back.
what you do: you put the cap on, you shake it up a little bit so they break,
No.
and then you drink.
Are
No.
you out of your
That's-
fucking mind?
Leave.
Why the bottom's gonna be crumbs anyway?
Yeah, the bottom, not the whole fucking thing, you communist.
No. I'm not. No. I'm not saying the whole thing. I'm
Jesus.
saying when you get to the point where you can't reach it.
Even
That's
still.
That's four Pringles for Chris.
Fair enough.
This kid's going down with chopsticks trying to get his fucking Pringles out.
I wish I could say I haven't done it, but I'd be lying.
I know.
It's going in with a pair of tweezers.
Speaking
all the way
of
down.
Pringles, real quick before we get going, Sam, during COVID, you remember when we tried those fucking rotisserie style chicken Pringles?
The rotisserie chicken Pringles
Those sound
tasted
gross.
like urine. Tasted like stale urine. It was horrid.
Sterile, and I like the taste.
Why do I drink my own urine? It's sterile, and I like the taste. Dodge, dip, duck, dive, and dodge.
Shit. All right. Well, Jared, piss poor draft. I'm just saying.
The Pringles redeemed it a little, and the Cheez-Its is good too. The other two.
I'm taking another one. A lot of people might not be familiar with here, but my palate, a little unique. Give me Stacy's pita chips, more specifically
Cinnamon
garlic
sugar.
Parmesan.
Oh,
I do know those ones. Those are good.
I like the cinnamon ones better, like the cinnamon
I
sugar
agree.
ones.
If I'm in like a sweeter,
those slap.
sweet tooth kind of mood,
I'm a big salty sweet guy, so those really fucking
the salty and sweet don't always do it for me.
always.
Round this out for me. Give me the Harvest Cheddar Sun Chips.
That's a great fucking
Those
pick.
are fucking amazing.
I used to get those at school all the time.
I have one that I don't know how it lasted this long because it is an absolute staple, as old as time. I'm going with Lay's Classics.
Too salty for me.
I just think that Lay's Classics is
Good
like
with
one
a
of.
French onion dip.
I just think it's
straight too
like
much.
just such a simple chip and it's so good.
I could eat an entire bag of
I
them.
had that on the list.
So I guess if it snakes back, I'll do honorable mention.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say a good honorable mention. I got two. I'm gonna say, I guess they're both like non-actual chips, but I'm gonna say pizza goldfish, and then I'm gonna say I'm gonna actually just grab the bag because I don't. It's one of those ones I doubt you guys are gonna know it.
He's grabbing Takis.
Fuck Takis.
Oh, good. Okay. Good. I'm glad Sam's on
Yes,
the fuck Takis train.
Dots cinnamon sugar pretzels.
Oh, those are so good.
Those are really good.
Honestly, all the flavors of Dots are pretty fucking good.
See, you went with something like that.
Another one. Maybe I was gonna say is the Snyder's bits, the honey mustard and onion bits.
Yep. I got some of those in my cabinet.
Yeah.
So I got two for honorable mention: the Cape Cod, the sweet mesquite barbecue chips, or the jalapeno chips.
The jalapeno ones
They're
slap.
amazing.
I honestly think I could have put just the classic Cape Cods instead of the Lay's
Oh, yeah.
Classics, and I would have
I'm
been cool with
surprised
it.
none of those took Cape. I
Yeah.
didn't even think of that.
The
I
Cape
thought
Cod
about taking the
jalapeno
Cape
ones.
Cod salt and pepper ones, but
The jalapeno ones go crazy.
Jared, I had to have a good draft after my recent performances, so I went with ones that I knew would be staples here,
like hitters. Yeah.
Did you guys do one last week too, or no? Oh no,
we didn't
record last week.
We didn't record last week.
I also have 2 honorable mentions. I'm going to do one chip and one
kind of chip,
cracker, cookie, whatever you want to call it. So for the chip, I'm going to do something that's kind of new on the scene, but give me the sweet and salty kettle corn popcorners.
Yep.
Popcorners are ass.
Popcorn.
Your ass.
No, they are not.
I just can't get behind it, dude.
You
Something
haven't
about
had
the
popcorn.
something
You're outnumbered 3-1. Your argument's
No, I'm
invalid.
just gonna explain myself. It's fine if you guys like it and I don't. But the texture, for some reason, it's just like a weird in between, like a cracker and a chip. Like the crunch is weird to me. I don't know why.
Chris, have you ever had the white cheddar ones?
I have had every popcorner on the market.
Oh my god, the white cheddar ones.
I had all of them.
You name it, had it. And then my last one that I'm going to take on the cookie front, give me Scooby Snacks.
That's just a cookie. That's not a chip.
I feel like that's not valid.
No, you lost me on that one.
No,
why do you get a cookie in a chip draft?
Because we were saying we could take cookies, chips, crackers.
No, we stopped at chips and crackers.
It's like a cracker.
If we're doing cookies,
Craziest shit you've ever said on this podcast. Bro,
if we're
ever said
we're
you could
doing-
take cookies.
It's
if
fine.
we're doing cookies, I'm changing all
It's
of my
it's an
picks.
honorable mention.
Give me
so it
Famous
doesn't matter. It
Amos at
didn't make the
number
cut.
1 if we can take cookies.
It didn't. You know, it's an honorable mention. It didn't make the
I
cut.
think
I
that
love
should be the
Sam.
No
category
shit
next
didn't make the
week.
cut. It didn't meet the criteria.
I love Sam. Why do you get a fucking
I
cookie and a chip?
I didn't get a rubric beforehand. It's not my
I think
fault.
that should be a TikTok.
I clipped it. I hit a clip.
I didn't get a rubric.
It's pretty straightforward. We said chips, and then crackers
And
were
crackers.
allowed. Like,
Didn't get a rubric.
I just would have loved if Chris actually drafted Scooby Snacks. Like, for my 7th overall pick, give me a Scooby Snacks.
put it in there, would have been like, nope, your draft is vetoed. It's over. Goodbye. That should be a rule that if someone picks something that the other people unanimously agree is just disallowed, your entire draft is forfeited. It's gone.
Done.
That's a new rule.
Entire thing.
Your whole thing is forfeited. Putting into place right now. Gavel has been dropped. All right, Jared.
Honorable mentions.
With your honorable. I actually have
All
one
right.
too. I just want another one I thought of that, but I'll make sure you go first.
So I also have 2. So it's kind of a mix. I love any flavor, but specifically the Ranch Quaker Rice Crisps.
God, Jared.
No, never had them.
No, they're gross.
Now,
You think they're
Jared,
gross, Chris?
I think it's closer to like the chip cracker category. That would be a veto draft if you put that in your draft. 100%.
How is that not a chip? It's closer than a cookie.
Fucking rice cake.
No, it's not. It's small. It's tiny.
It's a
It's
small
like this.
rice
It's
cake.
fucking rice cake.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. That's like a snack.
It's a
That's
crisp.
not a chip. Yeah, you fucking. I'm gonna
Aren't
give you a
chips
crisp and
Isn't a
slap
chip
upside
a
down.
snack?
Yeah,
chip
yeah,
is a
but
snack.
snack is
Who the fuck made this guy to judge?
snack is like the overall umbrella. Chip is like underneath the umbrella.
I don't know who gave you the gavel, but that thing needs to be vetoed ASAP.
I'm gonna take this
Okay,
gavel
so-
and shove it straight up your ass. How's that sound? The long way.
I'm on Chris's side. I would like a rubric for next week. So no.
All right,
I-
fine.
yeah.
Well, lay it
Yeah.
out next time.
I was gonna say, Mr. Hard Hitter with the criteria over here, Sam can put a fucking rubric together.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna put a rubric together. I'll give you guidelines though.
No, I want it in writing.
I got a good one
Well,
for
now
next
I'm
week.
you know,
now
anyways.
I'm
I'm gonna put a
afraid-
rubric like this is a 5, this is a 4. That's a rubric. Like giving you a fucking rubric.
If you want us to meet the criteria, you make the rubric.
I got a good one for next week. Anyways, it shouldn't need a fucking rubric.
My last honorable mention is chili cheese Fritos.
I didn't even. What?
You don't get 2. What the fuck?
Why? Everybody else got 2.
You
If
just
Chris
took
can,
the third.
if Chris can take cookies, I can get a second one.
All right,
He's
let's
over, Jared, I'm defending your ass. He's over here saying you can't take
Nah.
2. He's over here just took his third honorable mention.
Chris is like, for my last one, I'll take Chips Ahoy,
Well,
please.
he also took a chip and then a cookie. You just fucking came out of the gates with a fucking rice cake. That is fucking obscene.
How is it? Oh my
Bro,
god.
that is not a chip. I don't fucking care.
Jared.
That would be
How is it not a chip?
all
What's
right.
your other honorable mention?
All right, raise your hand if you don't think a rice cake is a chip. Chris, you think a fucking rice cake is a chip?
I don't know what to think.
You guys are.
If I'm being honest, when we were talking about this one, I did not think a rice cake would be the one that divides the podcast.
Thought the Scooby snack.
Everybody's got to hate on the damn Scooby snack.
Chris goes in with my honorable mention for the chips draft. I take vanilla ice cream.
Ooh, some vanilla ice cream. I actually got a strawberry ice cream in my freezer right now.
It's not a chip. Jared?
All right. So I don't know what category this last one falls in, but
here we go.
I love them. You know the big jars of party
Peanut
mix?
butter?
It has the mix of all the chips. The
I'll
pretzels, and
allow
all that
this
stuff
for
in it.
chips.
Those things. Oh my! I could.
Yeah,
eat
what do
a
they
whole
call
container.
that?
A whole container. I think it's literally just called party mix.
Yeah.
Can't tell you the brand name. I think
Isn't it Utz that makes it?
Utz makes it, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's with the purple and
yes,
orange
it does.
label on the jug. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's good shit.
it is.
Yeah, what is it?
Better than the
What's the
Scooby
other
snacks.
company? Isn't it like Munchos or something like that? They make the one that's in the bag.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing.
Oh yeah.
Jared, little tip. Lead with that one next time.
Yeah.
You might have gone off with your rice cake.
With my last honorable mention, I will take Dippin' Dots for 400, please.
What is this?
I will take with
Now
my
we're playing
final one.
Jeopardy?
For my chips draft honorable mention, I will take steak tartare. Thank you.
All right. Well,
I would
if we're
take a
doing
nice
that, I would like to
creme
take in
brulee, thank you.
ahi tuna, please.
Cam will take stumbling over the walkway on the way to Legal Seafoods. For
I
500,
landed that
please.
shit. Don't want to hear anything about it.
You
Landed that shit. Was ready to
you
go.
landed it.
You landed on
after
the
you
ground.
fell. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did a barrel roll, and I stood
Yeah,
up.
you fell first, and it
Yeah.
turned into landing. You still
That's
fell
fine.
at some point.
That's fine. That was fine.
Interesting. You said you had an idea for a draft next week. What do you got?
Gas station food.
I'm in.
Oh.
I'm in.
Oh God.
No, You shut your mouth, you whore.
Jared, we used to get gas station food every night in high school.
Yeah, me and Sam spent a few nights walking over to.
You guys would get the cooked food. I would go in and get those donuts from Cumberland Farms.
Yeah, those things were fucking disgusting.
I know. They were the maple. What were they? Maple
Maple
cinnamon
dog
or
shit?
something?
Eating
I don't
shop.
know.
Maple dog shit.
It was awful.
It is so bad.
They were bad.
I
can't
think
say much.
honestly,
Yeah, we all ate them.
I can see us. I think this podcast needs to turn into we touch on sports and then we delve into the important stuff for more of the time. I think this is. I
we
think
should
it's the
just flip
direction
it.
that we're heading.
Yeah, just flip it. We'll do Mount Rushmore of sports topics and just talk about food.
Not even food, just these in general are amazing.
Just like random topics.
Yes.
Yeah, this is. I think we might need to make a post on Facebook and put these out and have people vote who had the best one because I think we'll get a little response on that.
Yeah,
We can do it.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, next week we will be back with a heavy hitter in gas station food. You guys got anything else?
if Jared
Before we go,
Smith
can you
wins,
try
I
and do
quit.
that thing with your hand again? Dang it.
What's up, brother? Oh,
That's all.
what's
What's
up,
up, brother?
brother?
What is Brazzers, a basketball team?
On that note,
We'll be back for episode 43. Dennis Eckersley. We'll catch you in a week.
Later.
We go.